Easier said than done. That's what he said to me as he walked by. He dropped the words on the floor in front of me and kept walking. Took a few strides, looked over his shoulder to see if I had picked them up. I nodded. I said, "You're right." There was a little malice in his voice, and I wasn't trying to get into an altercation with someone I had just met. So I left it at that. You're right. Easier said than done. So let's back up. So I was having a conversation with a really good friend, and we were talking about the last vlog I posted, episode 11, talking about the matrix and the rebirth and letting go and the cycles that we constantly have to go through. That it's not a one time, one shot, one kill, like, all right, you kill me once, I come back, like I'm the new me, and like that's it, like I'm already here. No, like the phoenix continues to burn. The phoenix continues to go into the ashes and revive itself and renew itself, right? Just like the snake that sheds its skin. It doesn't only shed its skin once, as it continues to grow, it sheds its skin again. And so as you continue to grow, as you continue to evolve, you have to go through that cycle again and again and again and again. But we were talking about what happens in that cycle. It's not like, oh, I just burn and as soon as I come back to life, like I'm just brand new. Like, no, you have to do some work. You know what I mean? You can't mold cold steel. Like you put that steel into the fire, now it's time to pound away at it. You got to put some work in. You know what I mean? You got to be like that blacksmith. You got to be that gardener. You got to be able to get on your hands and knees and do the work. So yes, that man was right. It is easier said than done. Now, if I didn't keep my dragon on its leash and I allowed myself to clap back at him, I probably would have said something like this. You're right. It's easier said than done. And that's why there's so many few great men and an abundance of good ones. You know, not to sound chauvinistic in any way, but to take the term of like, this is what separates the men from the boys or the women for the girls, you know, the game changers from those who want to change the game, right? When I was fighting, they used to say like, everybody wants to be a champion, everybody wants to be a winner, but not everybody's willing to do the work that winners do. Not everybody's willing to sacrifice and do the work that champions do. And it's the same thing with evolution, spiritual awakening, like taking your mind to a whole nother level, taking your heart, taking your soul, taking your body to a whole nother level. Like you got to be willing to let go of the old you, you know? So what is it that you are not willing to let go of? You know, you have to let go. You have to let go of old parts of you if new parts of you are going to grow. You know, like I've been gardening with my mom lately. Not as much as I should. I should be gardening with her more, but I'm learning a lot about gardening. And she was telling me today about these roses, and she showed me these flowers with these roses, and she said, you know what, like after they're done blooming, I make sure to cut them off. Because if I don't cut them off, that's it. It's done flowering. Like the plant will just stop flowering. That's where it's at. So she goes, and after the roses bloom and they kind of like are done blooming, she cuts them off. And what happens? The plant flowers more, right? Do it again, the plant continues to flower. So this cycle of birth and death doesn't happen once. It happens multiple times. We are constantly growing. We are constantly evolving if we allow ourselves to, you know? Or are you that person who's scared that if they cut that rose off, that it'll never grow back? Maybe that's what he was scared of. That in letting go, he was going to lose something that he was never going to gain back. But I think in order for us to grow, we have to focus on what's on the other side. Not what is it that I'm losing, but more so, what is it that I'm gaining? And is it going to be worth the time and energy I'm going to have to put into it? Because you are going to have to put in time and you are going to have to put in energy. Like you are going to have to put in some work. You're going to have to dig within yourself. You're going to have to, you know, excavate what it is that's holding you back. What limiting belief, what mask, what role, what thing am I playing, whatever it is that I'm going to have to let go of. So he was right. It is easier said than done. But it wasn't a complete sentence. It is easier said than done, but it is not impossible. If you want to change, if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to become whatever it is that you feel called to become, you can be that person. But you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to go inside, you're going to have to dress your demons, and you're going to have to conquer them. And a lot of people are scared to do that. It's scary in there. Why? Because you're by yourself. There's no one there to hold your hand. Not your mom, not your dad, not your wife, not your husband, not your best friend, Nobody. It's inner work. You gotta go inside. You gotta go do the work yourself. So if you're not, then you have to be okay with where you're at. But if you have a vision of something greater, you want to be something better, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to be, not necessarily just do, you just want to be. I just want to be happier. I want to be more fulfilled. I want to be more loving. I want to be more passionate. Even in the being, you still have to do some work because there's something right now in your life that's holding you back from getting to that point. Evolution isn't just the sum, what you see at the end. Evolution is a part of letting go of the unnecessary. What are the things in your life that have been holding you back? I don't know that answer. You know that answer. So you have to dig. And if you want what's on the other side of that, you got to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? So yes, to the gentleman I met the other day, you are correct. It is easier said than done. But I will remind you, in case you have forgotten, that it is not impossible. And if it is what it is that you're seeking, you can go get it. Whatever it is that you're seeking, whoever it is that's listening right now, it's yours if you're willing to put in the work. All right? Keep working.